This next segment is for the history buffs out there. Did you know that Madison's downtown business district is the nation's largest historic landmark district in the country? Great Day Live's Elle Bottom takes us out for a day strolling through Madison's history.
Downtown Madison is the largest continuous National Historic Landmark District in the U.S., and today we're going to talk all about it. Today I'm here with John Stacer, the Executive Director of Historic Madison. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, it's great to be here with you today, Elle. We're so excited that WHAS is here in town today filming.
Yeah. So where does the historic district start and what can be found here?
Well, the historic district is huge. As you said, it's the largest contiguous National Historic Landmark District in the United States. So it stretches from the river out in back of us to the bluffs, the hills that surround Madison, and it covers about 133 blocks in the downtown. So that includes over 1,600 historic properties, homes, churches, business buildings. Commercial Main Street is one of the most beautiful main streets in the United States. Even industrial buildings. We have industrial buildings that have been rehabbed into living spaces, hotels, and we have the Schrader Saddle Tree Factory Museum, which is a fabulous industrial museum, all here in downtown Madison.
It is absolutely stunning, so you have to check it out. But of course, it's home to 4 National Historic Sites, and you should probably start your journey at the Jefferson County Historical Center. So what's all inside?
I'll answer that, but let me tell you a little bit about the 4 historic sites first, right? So the first one is the Madison National Historic Landmark District. That's one National Historic Landmark. We have the Shrewsbury Windle House, which is the fabulous home we're standing in right now. There's the JFD Lanier Mansion, which is a state-owned historic site, the first of its kind in the state. And then there's the Eleutherian College, 7 miles out of town here in Madison. Madison is significant for its architecture and also for its association with the Underground Railroad. And at the Jefferson County Historical Society, you could learn the whole history of Madison and Jefferson County and the architecture, the Underground Railroad, industry, the historic homes, Civil War, all sorts of things that happened in Madison over the years.
So what about the Lanier Mansion? Who lived there back in the day?
Well, that was the home of James F.D. Lanier and his family. And Lanier famously loaned the state of Indiana $1 million during the Civil War from his own personal fortune to help supply Indiana's troops fighting in the Civil War. So it became the first state historic landmark in Indiana in the 1920s. And the Lanier family built it in the 1840s and lived there up until just about the 1920s.
Wow. And another historical site is Eleutherian College. So why is that so significant?
Well, Eleutherian College was founded in the 1840s by the Neels Creek Abolition Society, and it was one of the earliest colleges in the United States to permit people of any race or gender to attend. And the college, the founders and the people that went there were all involved in the Underground Railroad in some way, shape, or form, again, helping enslaved peoples from the South migrate to freedom in the North. So it's very important in national history.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we can't forget the house that we're in today.
Well, the Shrewsbury Windle House is one of the most fabulous homes in the United States. It's got the original interior of this room is the original paint and varnish finishes on the walls and the plaster and the woodwork. Original gas chandeliers from the Shrewsbury family period in the 1840s, 1850s. Original oil portraits that you might be able to see behind me hanging on the wall of the family. So it's one of the great restored and conserved historic homes in the United States. There was only 3 families that owned the house, which was why it was in such great condition when we acquired it in 2011. And we recently restored it with a $2.2 million award-winning restoration. And now it's open to the public and available for rental for events and activities and that sort of thing.
It is absolutely stunning. So when you're in downtown Madison, you certainly have to check it out. But there are other ways to explore history too, not just visiting these historic sites. You also have different markers around town too, right?
Oh, there's plenty of historical markers and signs around town talking about the history with photos and text. So walking up and down the river is a great way to get oriented to the town. Main Street has signs on it too as well. And there's also various ways to access information about Madison online through the Visit Madison website and through the Historic Madison website, as well as the Jefferson County Historical Society and the Eleutherian College Historical website.